Then opening our eyes, we can inhale up. And 2 fountain breaths. Good. Release that. And let's say good morning to one of our shoulders, making the largest circle you're capable of making. And reverse it. Good. Release that one. Say good morning to your other shoulder. And reverse it. Good. Release that. Take a deep breath. Good. Let's look over our right shoulder. Come back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Let's do a few cat and cow stretches. So your head comes forward, your belly goes backwards as you're exhaling down. As you begin to inhale, lift your breastbone, look up. Exhale down. Simply go back and forth at whatever pace suits you. Timing your movement with your breathing. Good. All righty. So let's do the stir the pot. And reverse it. Lovely. All right. So let's push away our infernal invisible wall. Fan your hands out. Pretend your fingers don't like each other and separate them as far apart as possible and really push. You should be able to feel it right from the middle of your back. Then make a soft fist. Point that at the floor. This stretches your upper wrist back to the wall. Keep breathing. And then index finger to thumb and squeeze, second, third, and fourth. Backwards, fourth, third, second, and first. Good, release that. And we will play the piano scales. Every little joint gets an opportunity to stretch and flex as we tickle the ivories. You can hear them laughing. And then palms up and let them flop. Good. All right. Release that. Take a nice deep breath. Let's do some side stretches. So put your left hand on the floor or your chair. Reach up really far with your right hand. Lean into your left hand and reach. Look at the wall, not the floor, and breathe. Good. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm stretching up, and over we go. Good. Come back to center. Left arm down, right arm stretching up, and breathe. Good. Come back to center last time, and over. Good. Come back to center. Give everything a nice loosening up. Take a deep breath. Good. Alrighty, let's bring our arms straight out from our shoulders. Make a tiny little circle with your arms straight. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Go backwards or the opposite direction, depending on where you started. Good. Now bend your elbows and we'll do the swirl cactus. Remember, the trick here is to keep those elbows up. Strengthening your upper back muscles. For all you picklers, this is an important consideration. All right, let that go. Take a deep breath. Very good. Alrighty, so let's see. Let's do, bring our hands behind our heads and then simply push your elbows backward wherever you can get them to go. That's the idea. Relax your arms, but don't slouch. Then push them back again, as far as you can personally do it. Don't worry about what other people are doing. That doesn't count. Relax your elbows again. Take a breath. Last time, push them back wherever you can get them. Good. Release it. Let that go. Give everything a nice loosening up. Alrighty, so let's do the seated spinal twist. Now, sit comfortably for a minute. I'm going to show you an alternative version of the seated spinal twist. We do the closed seated spinal twist, which in other words, it means that if we twist to the right, it's right leg over left. So there's a very small distance between my knee and my abdomen. I'm going to show you, and we're going to practice the open seated spinal twist, which is the left leg comes over and it gives more room in your lower abdomen. So if you have something like fibroids or bloating caused by irritable bowel syndrome or something like that, this might be a good option. So if you're on the floor, stretch your legs out and then put your left leg over your right. We're going to twist to the right, sit up straight and tall as usual, but you will have a little bit more room for your lower abdomen. And if someday you need this, it's available to you. So let's twist back a little bit deeper. And release it. Come back to center, give everything a wiggle. Now, usually at this point, we would do the other leg. So this time we're going to be twisting to the left. So it's right leg over left, twist to your right, sit up straight and tall, and breathe. So let's twist back a wee bit deeper. And release it. Come back to center, give everything a little wiggle, and let's do the frog. All righty, so you can do the frog sitting in your chair, you can do the frog sitting on the floor, or I like to do it standing up. So if you're going to do it standing up, you must have both feet on your sticky mat at all times. Either if you're sitting in a chair, separate your knees wide apart, rest your hands on your knees, and then simply lean forward. Keep your head and chest up so you have a flat back. And lean forward until your hips say, stop, I don't want to go there. That's your cue to stop. Breathe encouragement into your hip joints. Don't force anything. Now, the only reason I'm keeping my head up today is because I'm run amok with my microphone. Otherwise, I would release my neck. Keep breathing. If you wish, you can walk your hands back in between your feet. You can stay there if that feels good, or you can take hold of your feet or ankles or whatever. Keep breathing. Keep breathing encouragement into your hip joints. And when you're done and you're ready to come out of it, you simply pick up your head and chest first and come to vertical. And let's all stand up. Give everything a little wiggle. Take a deep breath. Let that stress go. Alrighty. So as usual, we're going to start in Tadasana. So we want our feet to look like the number 11, hip width apart. Now, if you have any doubts about what hip width means, just put your fists together, put them on the floor between your feet. If your balance is a little iffy, wider is safer. Good. Now, sway a little left and right, a palm in the breeze. Feel what's going on at the bottom of your feet. Good. Come back to center. Make sure your feet have all of your weight evenly distributed. Pull yourself up through your legs. Pull your abs in and up as you lift your breastbone. Ask your shoulders to go back and down and lift the back of your head. Take a deep breath. Make use of your maximum lung capacity to support your immune system. Notice how easy it is to stand in this posture. Everything is lined up and balanced. Let's bring our arms out. Interlace your fingers. Notice which one's on top. Reverse. Stretch. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace and lift into chest expansion. Take a breath. Make sure those pecs get this opportunity to open. Good. Release that. Bring your arms out again, but this time when you interlace, make sure the other finger's on top. Reverse. Stretch. Bring your hands back again. Interlace the strange way and lift. Take a deep breath. If you're like me and your chin juts out, just bring it back. Good. Release your arms, release your legs. Take a deep breath. Well, let's see. Today is Warrior 2 Day. So if I want an emergency chair, I would put it right there. We're going to separate our feet. So make sure both feet are on the sticky mat. Take your left foot, rotate it to the left 90 degrees, bend your left knee over your left ankle. Your right leg is straight. If you put your hands on your hips, you'll notice that your hips are pointed off in a cockeyed direction. Bring them back to the starting direction. Take your hands and arms left and right out of your shoulders. Turn your head to the left. Now reach to the left with your left arm. Reach to the right with your right arm and roll your shoulders down from your ears. This is Warrior 2. All the time you're standing here, you should be scanning your body, looking for anything that you could make a marginal improvement to, whether it's rolling your shoulders down, firming up your abs, lifting your breastbone, or whatever. When you're ready to come out of it, lower your arms, step onto your left foot, give everything a little loosening up, take a breath. Good. Okay. So to do the other side, we're going to separate our feet comfortably wide apart. Rotate your right foot to the right, 90 degrees. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Put your hands on your hips. Bring them back to the starting position. Bring your arms left and right out of your shoulders. Turn your head to the right. Roll your shoulders back and down and breathe. Again, we're reaching to the right with our right arm. We're reaching to the left with our left arm. The longer we stand here, the more likely it is that our left arm will drift toward the floor because we're not looking at it. Therefore, take a look at your left arm, make sure it's where you think it is, and keep breathing. When you're ready to come out of it, lower your arms, step onto your right leg, give everything a little wiggle, take a deep breath. Good. All righty. So we're going to go into our inversion. So we're going to put our feet back into Tadasana and then take an inhale up. Exhale down, stretch forward, and then hang upside down. Breathe into your stretching muscles. Whether or not you touch the floor is just irrelevant. Release your neck so the top of your head is now pointed at the floor. And sooner or later, your muscles will begin to open and you'll get a little closer to the floor. When you're ready, twist to the right, take hold of whichever part of your body is conveniently accessible, and keep breathing. If you want to intensify the effect, pull your abs in. Come back to center, twist to the left, and grab what's over there. When you're ready to come out of it, come back to center, put your hands on your thighs, come up to a flat back, and stand up. Good. Give everything a little loosening up. Take a deep breath. Very good. Okay. Let's do the eagle. So bring your chair forward. You're going to sit on the leading edge of your chair. Don't rest against the back. Take your right leg, cross it over your left, and see if you can sneak your right toes around behind your left leg. Some people, it's easy. Other people can't do it at all. Do your best. Let it go. All right. Just swing your arms a bit. We're going to do one elbow under the other and then wrap your lower arms around each other until the palms come together. If this does not work for your particular body, rest your hands on your opposing shoulders. Good. Now, Breathe into the big muscles across your upper back and slowly raise your elbows. Purpose of this posture is to help you open your shoulders and release the huge amount of tension that most of us carry in our shoulders. And then push your hands away from your face. Keep breathing. When you've had enough, lower your elbows, unwrap your legs, let them swing, take a deep breath. Good. This time it's left leg over right. And for your arms, it's the other elbow on top, wrapping your lower arms around each other. Breathe into your upper back and slowly raise your elbows. Focus your attention on your upper back. Breathe comfort and encouragement into them. And then push your hands away from your face. When you've had enough, simply lower your arms, unwrap your legs, take a deep breath. Good. All righty, let's do a little balance walk. So we're going to start at one end of our mat, and we're going to walk heel to toe to the other end of the mat. When you get to the other end of your mat, you have a choice. You can either go backwards or turn around. It's up to you. And there we are. Good. All righty. So let's see. Let's do Bernice's favorite move, even though she's not here. I have my chair on my left because I'm going to step forward with my left foot. My left knee is bent over my left ankle. My right leg is straight. You can either put your hand on the chair or your left hand goes on your hip. Take your right hand up to the ceiling. As you bring it down, straighten your left knee, bend your right knee, and bow. And then reverse the entire thing. For those of you who like history, this is very much like the bowing and scraping that people did in the court of Louis XIV. And then when you've had enough, just bring your right arm down, step onto your left leg, reorganize yourself so that your chair is on your right. Step forward with your right leg. Your right knee is bent over your right ankle. Your left leg is straight. Take your left arm up to the ceiling. As it comes down, straighten your right knee, bend your left knee, and reverse it. When you're done, bring your arm down, step onto your right leg, and there we go. All righty, let's bring our chairs back and we'll do the stand-up sit-downs. So sit forward on your chair so that you're comfortable. And then remember, if you want a challenge, bring your feet and knees together. If you want to make it easy, separate your knees wide apart. So fold your arms and stand up and sit down. And you just go back and forth, doing this at whatever pace feels good. You do it as many times as you want. This is a very important strengthening exercise for your butt and your legs. And it is a major criteria for whether or not you can live on your own. There we go. So everybody sit, stretch one leg out, point and flex, draw a circle, reverse it. Relax that leg, stick the other one out, and we'll do the same thing with this one. Draw a circle, reverse it. Okay, stick them both out, draw circles with both feet, reverse that. Good, okay. So let's stand up. Stick one foot out, bend your knee over that foot. Now use that knee to draw a circle above that foot. You can lean as much weight as you want into that foot. Direct your focus to the bottom of your foot and notice that you're getting a small massage at the bottom of your foot. Good. Stick the other foot out. Bend that knee over that foot. Draw a circle with that knee, leaning into it as much as you want. Again, notice what's happening at the bottom of your foot. Reverse it. Good. All right. Shake out your legs. Let them know that's over. Take a deep breath because we've reached the end of the first half hour and we're about to get down on the floor. So for those of you who are not going to join us on the floor, I hope that you enjoy a terrific weekend and I'll see you back here on Monday. Namaste. For those of you who are at home and you don't normally get down on the floor, you can do some of what we're about to do on your bed or on your sofa. It's up to you. All righty, so we're going to cast our furniture aside and we're going to get into tabletop. So in tabletop, we want our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. Spread out your hands so they take us up as much space as you can possibly take up. Okay, so we'll do a few cat and cow stretches. Head down, belly up, exhaling. Head up, belly down, inhaling, and go back and forth. Good, come back to neutral, head and hips to the right, neutral, head and hips to the left, neutral, back to the right, neutral, and the left. Okay, we're going to pick up our right bent knee to the right, hip high, and down. Left bent knee to the left, and down. Don't bend your elbows. Last time. Good. All right. So let's now curl our toes under. We'll do downward facing dog. Lift your butt up. Push your shoulders back as hard as you can. Release your neck so you can only see your feet, and breathe. Stay as long as you like. When you're done, sit back in child pose, or the alternatives. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and let all of that work and effort go. Okay, we're going to come back into tabletop so that we can set up for thread the needle. So come back. This time we're going to pick up our left arm pointed at the ceiling and look at it. Now bring it behind your right hand. Put the left side of your head on the floor next to your right hand and reach through as much as you can. And there we are. You can leave your right hand where it is. You can walk it out in front of it. You can point it at the ceiling. It's up to you. And breathe. Notice which muscles are stretching. Keep breathing. When you're ready to come out of it, put your right hand on the mat and push. You'll come right back into tabletop. This time we're going to take our right hand up to the ceiling and look at it. Bring it behind your left hand. Put the right side of your head on the mat. Reach through as much as you can. And there we are. Again, if you want, you can walk your arm out or point it at the ceiling or slightly behind you, depending on how flexible you feel. Breathe into it. When you're done, put your hand on the mat and push, and there we are. Now, let's come up to a kneeling posture, and we'll do the camel. Curl your toes under. Take your right hand Reach back, find your right heel, look up at the ceiling, raise your left hand to the ceiling. This is the half camel. When you've had enough of this, bring your left arm down, straighten up, take your left hand, find your left heel, raise your right arm to the ceiling and look at it, and breathe. When you're done, bring your arm down, uncurl your toes, and lay down on your back. Pull your knees up onto your chest, give them a hug, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths and let all of that work and effort go. Don't forget, the letting go is just as important as the doing. Then let's move our hands to the floor and draw a circle on the ceiling with your knees together. Reverse it. Now put your hands on your knees. And this time, we're going to draw circles on the ceiling with our knees, but they're going to go in opposite directions. So right now, your hands and knees are close together. Circle them away and bring them back together. Circle away and back together. This is a lovely thing to help lubricate your hip joints. This motion stirs the joint fluid inside the joint. Now, bring your hands together again, but this time reverse both circles. Again, they're circling apart and together, but they're going in the opposite directions. Good. Now, that was a lovely warm up. Let's do happy baby. Reach into your right instep with your right arm, your left instep with your left hand, and then put your feet on the ceiling so that you're pulling your knees into your armpits. And there we are. You can push your feet wide apart. You can bring them together. You can wave them around. It's up to you. Do whatever feels good to your joints, your body, your ligaments. And when you've had enough of that, release your feet to the floor, release your hands to the floor. Take a deep breath and let go. Good. Let's do the knee down twist. So extend your left leg along the floor. Send your arms left and right out of your shoulders, palms up. Pick up your right bent knee, roll it across your body to the left. Keep your right shoulder on the floor and roll your head to the right. For those of you who like it, you can take your right hand across to touch your left palm twice before you settle into the position. Other people like to put their left hand on their right knee. Now close your eyes, breathe into all the stretching muscles, and let go. The idea is to let gravity take over and do the work of stretching your tight muscles and tendons. There's nothing you need to do except keep breathing. As you scan your body, if you find groups of muscles that are still in achievement mode and are trying to prevent you from touching the floor, ask them to open. When you're ready to come out of it, put both hands on the floor, roll onto your back, and get yourself back into good alignment. Straighten out your clothing, whatever needs doing. Stretch your right leg out, pick up your left bent knee, roll it across your body to the right, keep your left shoulder on the floor, and roll your head to the left. For those of you who like it, take your left hand to touch your right palm twice, and then settle into the posture. For those of you who like it, you can move your right hand to your left knee to pull it closer to the floor. Close your eyes and just try to melt into the floor. Keep scanning your body for muscles that are trying to prevent you from touching the floor, and see if you can persuade them to open up. Notice which parts of your body are doing the most stretching. When you're ready to come out of it, put both hands on the floor, roll your head to center, and roll onto your back. Once again, get yourself into good alignment, straighten out your clothing, put your feet flat on the floor, and notice your body as it gets itself back into its usual configuration, whatever that means for your particular body. Here we go. Bring your knees up onto your chest, give them a hug. Put your feet back on the floor and slowly slide your knees to the right, roll your head to the left. Then slide your knees to the left, roll your head to the right, and keep going. It's a very slow and gentle movement. And then come back to center. So it's time for deep relaxation. So if you have socks, sweaters, blankets, pillows, cushions, anything you need to stay warm and cozy while we are resting, this is the time to put them on. And then arrange yourself on the floor in the world's most comfortable position. Now, of course, no one except you is in charge of determining what is the most comfortable position. It might be the traditional dead man pose. It might be the fetal position. It might be laying with your feet up the wall. It's up to you. When you get into your resting posture, close your eyes and just try to melt into the floor. Take a few deep breaths. On each inhalation, look for groups of muscles that are still stubbornly in achievement mode. And on the exhale, try to persuade them to let go. So now it's time to wiggle your fingers and toes, make any loosening motions which might feel good, and then roll to one side to come up to a seated position. And when we get there, we'll sit up straight and tall, put our hands in prayer position, close our eyes, lower our heads, and give thanks for this day. And lifting our heads and opening our eyes, we can say namaste, 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 namaste. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you back here Monday morning. You're welcome.